with that, there's also a stigma because like there's a stigma of therapy in the Black community. Then also there's a stigma of therapy in being a person of faith. So imagine being a Black person who's a person of faith
Yes.
dealing with the stigma of therapy. And I just wanted you to just break that down because like I know people who are watching this, not everybody is a Christian, but those who are, or who are
Yeah.
people of faith, who are trying to figure out like how does this go in hand? How does this go in hand with, my faith, and how do I balance the two?
So that's a terrific question right there, because faith has a lot to do with therapy, and if we're putting the two together, therapy and mental health, therapy and faith, it's strong right there. And the reason why I say that is because when we look at our relationship with God, He requires us to relinquish any form of control that we have, and He requires us to really, be laid back and just say, hey, God, you're in control. You handle the wheel. I'm not in control of this. And so that point of surrender is the same thing that we need to do in therapy, where we can walk into a space and say, I'm opening up, I'm going to be vulnerable, and I'm doing it not at the expense of my own ego, but because I identify that I need this healing. Wow. And so the only way that healing can happen is that self-awareness, is knowing that the same way that I can trust God is the same way that the people that He has aligned to serve me in a mental health framework can do the same thing for me, and they can, and I need to be open to that, so you can't have a relationship with God without trust and without faith. And so we don't trust easily as Black people generally. We have to learn that if I'm going to trust God, I also need to trust the people that He's put in front of me, to serve me in that mental health framework, like I said. I think another thing is in therapy, and I've said this with other friends, is faith, I guess the synonym for faith in therapy is self-fulfilling prophecy. And so self-fulfilling prophecy within therapy is when your beliefs and your thoughts are influenced by your behavior on a subconscious level, and so self-fulfilling prophecy says you could have negative or positive self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just up to you. I mean, if you wake up in the morning and you hit your toe on the bed, and then you had a bad dream, and you're not able to get in that workout you needed, or the day just starts going crazy. Whatever you say to yourself is what will manifest. Because it's not about the circumstances around you, it's about your cognitive process. And I always break it down in cognitive behavioral therapy that we have our thoughts first, then we have our feelings, and then our behavior. And so if we're able to be self-aware that these three things happen in a certain order, we also see the same thing in regards to our faith. That the way faith is presented to us is your thought process has to switch before, and then your feelings, because sometimes your feelings will lie to you, and you have to go based off of what your thought process is, what you believe. So that's what self-fulfilling prophecy is. I told a friend, I was like, when it came to David fighting Goliath, David was on top of his mental health game, because he knew, he practiced self-fulfilling prophecy. And the reason why I say that is because he knew that his psyche had to be on point. If his psyche wasn't on point, he was going to look at that Goliath like he was what he really was. And so he had to practice and manifest self-fulfilling prophecy to realize that it is his thought process that influences what he's about to do to this giant. And so because of that, that's how he was able to win, because he had to change his mind. And it's the same thing when it comes to what we're currently dealing with within this climate, is that in order to prepare for battle when it comes to racial inequality, us as Black folks, we got to take care of our psyche the same way David did. We have to take care of our mental health. We can go off of emotion, but then at the end of the day, we can go off of emotion. We can even get reparations, but has the healing taken place on the inside? because you can't prepare for war if your mind ain't right. You know, you can't prepare for war if you're dealing with anxieties. You will flip out on yourself.
Yeah.
You will flip out on yourself. You'll find yourself fighting for the wrong side, you know. And so that's what we need to do. You know, that is the requirement that I have for our people. In as much as we have a laundry list of requirements for white folks, you know, because they're doing their homework right now, we have a laundry list of things that we need to do for ourselves. Because like I said, if this is just a trend, and being Black is just a trend for now, and it never becomes what we expect it to be, does that mean we're stuck? Does that mean that it's over for us? If white corporations don't decide to really be fundamental about change, not just because it's trending right now, does that mean it's over for us? And so the answer is no.
Yeah.
The answer is no, because when we work on our insides, we're better able to figure out how to navigate things. We're able to carry the resilience that our ancestors had with us in order to be who we are. And so then that's when you're going to start seeing generational wealth transfer. You're going to start seeing, you know, transformations within family dynamics in terms of change of mindset. You're going to see proper modeling behavior. You're going to see a lot of affirmation, and you're going to see a lot of confidence, you know, within our community, and healing. And when those things come together, man, they ain't ready. They ain't ready. They think they are, but they ain't ready.